problem utt minus c square, okay, the wave equation. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So last week, last class we was in utt minus c square uxx equal to 0. So the idea we got was like we just split it into two equations. One is ut minus cux equal to 0, another is ut plus cux equal to 0. And then we solved them, like we substituted one as c, another as u as it is, and then we solved it. So in this case, we got a solution of this kind. Okay, u is equal to half into f of x plus ct plus f of x minus ct plus 1 by 2c x minus ct to x plus ct g of y dy. Okay, that is the one solution we have got. That is on whole r cross 0 comma infinity. Okay, whole r cross t greater than 0. Okay, so that is the one which we have seen. And if you just go for if I just assume that c equal to 1, okay, in particular c equal to 1 and r plus class 0 comma infinity. So in that case, what you will get is that you will get two kind of things. One is like half into f of x plus t, f of x minus t, half into x minus t to c is 1, so that would x minus t, x plus t, c is 1 here, so 1 by 2 will come, g of y dy will come. So this is on the right half, okay. Whereas in the left half, you will get like u is equal to 1 by 2 f of x plus t minus f of t minus x. So here the here minus symbol is there and t minus x. Okay. So these are the two changes. Two changes are there. Minus here instead of plus, here it is minus t minus x. Okay. And the changes here the limit is changing. Okay. Instead of x minus t, it is going to be t minus x. Okay. Because in the left half. So this is x greater than or equal to t will come 0 x greater than or equal to t greater than 0. And this will be less than. Okay. So this is the one which we have seen. So now in today's class, what we are trying to do is that we are trying to generalize this one. Okay, we are trying to generalize this idea, whatever we got it from one-dimensional case, that we are going to generalize to n-dimensional case. Okay, so in n-dimensional case, it is not that easy. We got to use some kind of two cases we got to split. One is n equal to even, another is n equal to r. Okay, so for this we'll be introducing some new notations. Okay, since we are going to work on the common settings x power x belongs to r power n. Okay, I'm going to work on the common settings x belongs to r power n. So we need to introduce some notations. Okay, so based on the notation, what we will try to do is that we will try to formulate a problem. Okay, the problem will be like this. The same problem will be taken. Okay, utt minus uxx. Okay, here x is a vector in r power n. Okay, uxx is vector in r power n. So I'm going to take only c equal to 1. Throughout the rest of the lecture, I will take c equal to 1. Okay, if you want c equal to not equal to 1, then you can just plug in and then you can just derive a similar one. So this is the one which I am going to take on x belongs to. So here it belongs to r power n. Okay, and cross 0 comma infinity. T is 0 comma infinity. And the rest of things are same. U equal to f. This is in. Okay, this is in, and this is on the boundary, which is I'm just taking u x bar belongs to r power n cross t equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, ut is equal to g. Same kind of setup. Okay. So these are the things I'm going to take. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to do trying to transform this equation. Okay, I'm just trying to transform this equation in the form of I'll just try to transform this equation. So mostly I will take r the other settings will see. So this is the one I'm just trying to do. So what I will try to do is that I will just use some kind of transformation. Okay, I will try to bring that setup to kind of polar coordinate or some kind of spherical coordinates, we'll say. Okay, spherical means, we'll say. So in the spherical mean, we will try to. So we'll try to find a equation utt minus urr equal to 0. Okay, and then u is equal to some f and ut is equal to some g. This is on. So this I will just translate into some setup called r plus cross 0 comma infinity. Okay, this I will just transfer, and then this is on r plus cross t equal to 0. Okay, t equal to 0. This is also on r plus t equal r plus cross t equal to 0. Then what I can do is that this this setup. Okay, once I brought to this setup, this is a one-dimensional wave equation. That means I can go here. Okay, r plus 0 comma infinity. So I can just pick up either of them. Okay, one of these I will be picking up. Then what I will do is that I will just try to solve this in this one-dimensional wave equation, and then I will just bring back to the n-dimensional. So this is the general idea. Okay, this is the general idea. The same thing is for n equal to r and n equal to even. Okay, n equal to r and n equal to even. So n equal to r, what it will be still it will be straightforward. You can just solve it easily. We can get that. Okay, for n equal to even, that setup will not work. Okay, the setup will not work. What I will do is that I will try to solve the problem. Okay, I will try to solve the problem. When n equal to even, what I will do is that I will try to solve the problem. For example, if n variables are there, I will put one more variable. Okay, in n equal to even. Now it becomes like odd case, right? When n is even, xn plus 1 is going to be even odd case. When n is even, xn plus 1 is going to be odd case. So I know the solution for this one. Okay, when n plus 1 is equal to r, I know the solution. Now what I will put is that in that place I put the n plus 1 place, I put it as 0. Okay, that means I can just if I just put that equal to 0, then I can just bring that to the n equal to even case. This is a general idea of n equal to r and n equal to even. So for n equal to r, this is called Kirchhoff formula. Okay, this is called Kirchhoff formula. And for n equal to even, this is called Poisson's formula. This is called Poisson's formula. So this is the overall idea of today's class. Let me try to see how as much as I can cover today. At least I will try to cover the Kirchhoff formula, I hope. Okay. So for this, we need some kind of preliminaries first. Okay. So the preliminaries are like, let's take the spherical means first. Okay. What is spherical means? So this is something similar what we work on the two-dimensional, three-dimensional case, that we are trying to generalize for the n-dimensional case. So I have a domain. Okay, let's say I have a domain. Okay, I have a domain. In that I given a point. Okay, x bar. Okay, or x vector. Okay, it's a point. Now this is the omega subset of r power n. Okay, so I have a point x naught. Sorry, x. Okay, so in that I'm just trying to construct a bar, which is nothing but b of x comma r. Okay, so this is the bar. Okay, bar with the center x and radius r relative to g. That's the bar. Okay, so now what we are trying to do is that we are trying to find what is the volume of this ball. Okay, so what is the volume of this ball? Okay, first we will try to find what is the volume of ball. I'm just assuming this is a subset of r power n. I'm just assuming that ball is centered around 0. Okay, this omega contains 0. So I'm just trying to find what is b of 0 comma 1. Okay, what is b of 0 comma 1? I'm going to denote. Okay, so if I just see in case of one-dimensional case, what is b of 0 comma 1? B of 0 comma 1 is nothing but the length of the interval. Okay, what is the length of the interval? Length of the interval is going to be 1. Okay, now what is the so I'm just taking a ball in 2 dimensions. In 2 dimensions, what is the volume? Or volume means here what will be that? It is called the area. Okay, what is the area? Area is nothing but pi. Okay, area is nothing but pi. Or if you just say like v of x comma r, that is going to become like pi r square. Okay, so I'm just going to put here p of 0 comma 1, and here I'm going to put p of x comma r. Okay, so that is going to be pi r square. This is pi r square. Okay, so this is area. Okay, in 2D case, and what is the surface area? Surface area means in this case it will become like a circumference. What is circumference? Circumference is going to be 2 pi. Okay, so here it is going to be 2 pi r. Correct? Okay, this is circumference. So this I call it as volume always. Okay, this I call it as volume always. This I call it as surface area. This is called surface area. Okay, so I will just call it as volume. So this is 2-dimensional case. In three-dimensional case, what is the volume of what will be the d of 0, 1? This is going to become a ball. This is going to become like a sphere. Okay, so this is nothing but this is going to be the volume is going to be like a ball volume. Okay, and surface area means I am just going to denote as sphere. Okay, whenever I say volume, it's a ball, means it is the entire thing is inside the things. I'm just going to calculate, so that I call it as ball. If I'm just saying surface area, that is nothing but the sphere. Okay, surface area means it is. I'm just trying to find what is the sphere. So in three dimensions, okay, what is the volume of the sphere? What's the volume of the sphere? Hang on. 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay. What is the surface area of the sphere? Four pi
r square.
R square.
Okay. So you can just immediately you can just observe some relations here. See, if I just say pi here, okay, automatically the surface area or pi r square, automatically this becomes like 2 pi r. Okay, means what I am doing is that suppose P is nothing but my volume or alpha n is nothing but my volume. Okay, then what is going to be surface area? Surface area is going to become like you just multiply that, just multiply this one by n and divide by r. Okay, so you multiply by n and divide by r. So if you just multiply this one by n and divide by r, you will get that. Okay, that is nothing but the surface area you are going to get. Now, in the case of P of 0, 1, what you are going to get is that this r is 1. Therefore, you will get always n equal to alpha n. Okay, so this alpha n I am going to denote as, okay, this alpha n is nothing but the volume of a ball in n dimension. Okay, B is a ball in r power n, then alpha n is going to denote me the volume of the ball. Okay, volume of the ball. Okay, and n into volume of ball 0, 1. Okay, center at 0, radius. N into alpha n I am going to denote as volume of the sphere. Okay, volume of the sphere. B denotes the ball, is denotes the sphere. Okay, center at 0 and radius 1. Okay, so in case of if you go for so now if I just try to translate it to B of x comma r, you can see that the volume of B comma r is going to be, you can just multiply that with some r power n. Okay, r power n you will multiply, and here it will become like r power. So you can see that here whatever the dimension is there, one less than here. Here whatever the dimension, we have r square. Whatever the dimension, that will be there. Okay, this is volume. So volume is this one. This is surface area. Okay, so I put here. So this is going to be 4 by 3 pi. And this is going to be 4 by 3 pi r cube. And this is 4 pi. This is 4 pi r square. Okay. So if you see the volume, okay, in volume always you can see that 2, 2, 3, 3. Okay. Here if you see surface area 1 less than. So 2, 1, 3, 2. Therefore, what we have is that when you go for the P of x comma r n, you can just multiply this whatever alpha n is for the volume of ball, you just multiply with r power n. Okay, if you multiply by r power n, then you will go into this set P of x comma r. Okay, in this case you got multiplied by r power minus 1, n into alpha n into r power n minus 1. That is nothing but the volume of the ball in the P of x comma r. Okay, so this you can prove it using the iterated integral. Okay, I have given the link for this proof in the miscellaneous. Okay, also I have mentioned you the earlier one. Now there are one.
Sir,
Yeah.
please repeat that which you have mentioned. Like if it is 3, then it is 2. If it is 4, it is 3. Like that.
What is the volume of P of 0, 1? Volume means here 2 dimensional. What is volume? Volume means I am just saying area of the circle. What is the area of the circle? Pi r square. What is the surface area? Surface area means 2 dimensional.
2 pi r.
2 pi r. Okay. 2 pi r is nothing but the this one. So if you see this one, okay, the relation is that wherever you have now you go for the sphere also. Okay. If you go for a ball, okay, the volume is nothing but 4 by 3 pi r cube. Whereas surface area is nothing but 4 pi r square. Okay, surface area is 4 pi r square. So if you see the settings here, when volume is there, okay, volume is there. When dimension is 2, you can see that in the r power there will be 2. In surface area, it will be r power 1, means 1 less than whatever you have. Okay, 1 less than whatever you have here. Same way here, 4 by 3 pi r cube. Okay, 4 by 3 pi r cube. So this I will find it out. What is volume? I will find it out. So here you can see the 3, and here it will be 2. Okay. In general, alpha n is nothing but if alpha n is denoting the volume of a unit ball in n dimensional, then alpha n, okay, r power n into alpha n is going to be the volume of the ball in B of x, okay, with center at origin and center at x and radius. Similarly, n alpha n minus 1 is going to be, for example, you can see the relations here. If I multiply 2 here, then I am going to get the 2 pi r. Okay, 2 by r I am going to multiply. Similarly, if I just multiply by 3 pi r, then I will get that 4 pi r square. So same thing is going to come. So n into alpha n into r power n minus 1. Okay, n into alpha n. This is nothing but the surface area of the ball. Okay. Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay. So now what we are going to do is that we are trying to find the integral, or something called average integral. Okay. So you might have, I don't know whether you have already come across this one in the complex analysis course. Something we will be writing something like this. Okay. Over the closed integral, etc. Okay. Now we are going to do something different. What we are going is that we are going to go for something called average integral. Okay. So if I just put something like over integral, if I just put something like dash, that means it is an average integral. Okay. So there are two kind of things are there. One is p of x comma r, another is dou v of x comma r. So this means I am taking the average over the ball. This means I am taking the average over the sphere. Okay, this is ball, this is sphere. If I mention dou v, that means it's sphere. Okay, means the boundary of the ball, that's why it is sphere. So now what is it? What is the average integral is that f dy, okay, f dy or f dx, whatever you call it as. Okay, so and here also f dy we'll see what is that. Okay, now let's see what is the average integral in the one dimensional case first of all. Okay, what is f dx? Is nothing but, okay, 1 by, suppose it is a to b. Okay, a to b, and this is nothing but 1 by b minus a integral f dx. This is called the average in the one dimensional case. Okay, in two dimensional case, okay, so suppose this is over r2. Okay, the subset of omega subset of r2. Okay, f dx is nothing but 1 by volume of r. I can just write it as area. Okay, omega subset of r square, so I can just put it as area of omega integral f dx. Okay, over omega. Okay, so this is the average integral in the two-dimensional case. So I can just generalize this. Okay, if I just generalize that, what I will get is that here I am going to get the volume of the ball. Okay, 1 by volume of the ball. But what is the volume of the ball? Volume of the ball is alpha n, right? Okay, alpha n into r power n, p of x comma r. Okay, if it is p of x comma 0 comma 1, this will be simply alpha n. I am putting p of x comma r, therefore r power n into alpha n. This is going to become like f t1. Okay, over p of 0 comma 1. Sorry, p of x comma r. I'm not translating. Next slide I will translate. Okay, p of x comma r f t. So there's a difference. Here if I'm putting power, then you go to, if I just trace this integral, that means you got to multiply this by r power n. Same way here, what is the area of this one? It's going to be r power n minus 1 alpha n into n is also done. Okay, integral dou b of x comma r f t. Okay, so this is called spherical mean. Okay, this is the average of f over the ball. This is the average of f over the sphere. Okay, so there are two things happening. Okay. Okay. Any doubts in this one? Just remember this because we are going to use this one again and again. Okay, average over the ball and average over the sphere. This we are going to use it again and again. Few more preliminaries for this one. What we have is we have omega subset of r power n. So as I mentioned, omega subset of r power n we are taking. Okay, that I am going to take it as, okay, this omega subset of r power n. I am just going to take it as a bounded. Okay, open and bounded. Open and bounded. Okay, open and bounded subset. Now we have some more things. So we say usually we might have seen like what is the Cn function. Okay, Cn means like continuous. Suppose if I say f belongs to Cn, we might say that this is continuously differentiable, n times continuously differentiable, right? Or Cm if I put m times continuously differentiable. If I put C infinity, it is infinitely differentiable. Okay, infinitely differentiable and continuous also. Now I'm going to say dou omega is Ck. Okay, what I mean by, okay, because it is not a function, it is a domain, right? So for this one, I'm just going to say this is Ck. So in this case, what I'm going to say is that suppose I have a surface here, I have a domain here. Okay, I have, let's say here, and I'm going to take a ball. Okay, let's take a ball. Let's take some point over here. Okay, let's take x naught. So x naught, I'm just going to denote after all this. Okay, x naught. I'm just going to denote this one as p of x naught comma r. Okay, so this is going to be my dou omega. Okay, so this is my omega, which is going to be there. Okay, so it is going to be something like that. I'm going to take dou omega. Okay, dou omega is going to be this one. So in this dou omega, I'm taking an intersection with this ball p of x naught comma r. I'm just taking an intersection. Okay, so now what we can do is that this is the right, this dou omega. That, okay, for this I'm just going to find, okay, two things I'm going to find. What I'm going to find is that I'm just going to find some r, okay, r greater than 0. Okay, second thing I'm going to find is that I'm going to find the parametric representation. Okay, this is a curving. Since the domain is subset of r power n, dou omega is subset of r power n minus 1. Okay, because it is a boundary, this will be subset of r power n minus 1. So I'm going to find a function gamma from r power n minus 1 to r power r. Okay, I'm going to find a function r power n minus 1 to r. This gamma is going to be a Ck function. Okay, means this gamma is going to be, this gamma belongs to Ck. Okay, means this is continuously differentiable. Okay, k times continuously differentiable. So that's the meaning of that Ck gamma. Okay. Now what I am going to do is that this gamma I have found. Okay, I need to find two things for dou omega, r greater than 0 and gamma I going to find. So for this one, what I am going to do is that I am just going to relabel and reorient the coordinate axis, okay, if necessary, and such that what I'm going to do, I'm just going to find, the intersection between this one, okay, dou omega and the intersection between this part. Okay, that means it is going to come like this one. I'm just going to take the intersection, so this is going to become like this part. Okay, so in that case, what I will say is that is nothing but set of all x belongs to b of x naught of r. Okay, such that xn is greater than or equal to, okay, xn is greater than or equal to gamma of, okay, this is xn is one number. Okay, therefore I got to map something. So I'm just going to find what is gamma of the remaining variables x1, x2, etc., xn minus 1. Okay, because that is going to be some real number. It's a mapping. So if I just find that xn greater than gamma of x1, x2, etc., xn minus 1. Okay. Okay, so then that's it. Okay, set of all this collection I'm going to get. Okay, set of all x such that I'm going to collect this one. Okay, so this is called the so if such things are there. Okay, if such things are there, then we say that dou omega is Ck function. Okay, if all the settings are there, r greater than 0 should be there, gamma belongs to Ck, and if you take the intersection, okay, so that should be this set. Okay, so in that case we say that this is a Ck function. Ck dou omega is Ck. Okay. One more thing, we might have seen that like if omega is there, then we might have seen that the normal derivative. Okay, normal derivative is nothing but I just find what is the normal vector. So whatever is pointing outward. Okay, for each point I got to find what is one pointing outward. Okay, so that is the normal vector I find. Now we need to define something called normal derivative. Okay, normal derivative is nothing but we always denote this as dou u by, suppose u is some function, then dou u by dou u is nothing but u dot, okay, u is nothing but the normal vector, outward facing normal vector, take derivative with the u. Okay, this is nothing but the normal derivative in any n dimension. Okay, dou e by dou omega equal to mu dot t. So this is a normal derivative. So these are once again preliminaries, and some more preliminaries. So this is Gauss theorem. So in Gauss theorem, what we have is that Gauss-Green theorem. What we have is that this you might have already seen. So UXI. Okay. So it's a relation between the volume integral. Okay. It's a relation between the volume integral and the surface integral. Okay. So if I take UXI into dV, or I can put dx here. Okay. Equal to dou omega u into mu. I put it I here. Okay. Corresponding to that coordinate. Okay. So ds. This is called the Gauss-Green theorem. Okay. Or we call it as the Gauss-Divergent theorem. Okay. So this is called so this is from this one only we will derive the Gauss-Divergence theorem. So this is called Gauss-Green's theorem. Okay. Now if I go for if I just do one more thing, okay, that is nothing but just erase all these things. So one more thing. So this proof is very simple. Okay, I can just prove it. One more thing is that u xi v dx equal to v. Okay, what is it going to become? This is going to become like minus integral omega u v xi. Okay, u v xi dx plus integral dou omega u nu I into v ds is going to happen. So this is coming from here. So in the place of u, you put it as uv. Okay, wherever u is there, you put it as uv. Then you can see that this is nothing but two things are there. Okay, one the product rule. Okay, product rule. So you get that uvx plus ux di will come. So if you substitute in the place of u, substitute uv, you will get this one. Okay, this is called integration by parts. And then we have Green's formula. Okay, so in Green's formula, what we have is that we have something called del u. Okay, del u into dx over omega is going to be integral dou omega. Okay, dou u by dou nu into ds. Okay, so this is called Green's formula. Okay, so once again you can just prove it from here. Okay, you can prove it from here because I have uxi v here. You take the second derivative over here, or take the second derivative over here, you will get this one. Okay, you will get this one because you will just throw one derivative over there. So if you substitute here, you can get this from here. Okay. Okay. One more thing is that another thing, du dot dv into dx over omega is going to become like once again. Okay, you just use this one. If you use this one, what you will get is that you will get u del u into dx plus dou omega u nu I ds. V also will come. Sorry, dou u by dou. Dou u by dou. Okay, dou u by dou nu into dou v by dou nu. Sorry, dou v by dou nu. Okay, dou v by dou nu into u will come. Okay. So this is nothing but the second Green's formula. Okay, this is nothing but second Green's formula. Now same way, what you can do is that you can just multiply this by u. Okay, and another one you can just take v into del u. Then you subtract it. Then the same way you can subtract on the right hand side. So these are all you can derive from this one. Okay, so these are some of the preliminaries. I'm just skipping that. Okay, now some more preliminaries. Let's see. Let's use this one. Okay, mostly we'll be using this one all the time. Okay, mostly we'll be using this one. So I'll just erase the rest. Mostly we'll be using this one. So I'll just try only those things. Del u dx. Okay, del u dx equal to dou nu by dou nu ds. So this will be using mostly. Okay, fine. Now we are trying to find what is the omega. Okay, and this is over omega, so I'm just trying to find what is b of x comma r. Over b of x comma r del u dx. What is it going to be? So this is going to become like dou omega dou u by dou nu. So this is going to be dou b of x comma r. Okay, into ds is going to come. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to find what is the spherical mean of this. Okay, spherical mean of this one I am going to find. So what is the spherical mean of dou b of x comma r is nothing but dou e by dou u ds is going to be, what is this one? This is nothing but n of alpha n into r power n minus 1 alpha n I have to give that. Okay, so 1 by n of alpha n into r power n minus 1 integral. This is going to become like dou b of x comma r into dou u by dou nu ds is going to be. Okay, but what is dou u by dou nu ds? Okay, dou u by dou nu ds is nothing but this one. So I can write this one as n into alpha of n r power n minus 1 integral d of x comma r. Okay, I'm just using the Green's formula. Del u dx is going to come. Okay, this is nothing but, okay, I'm just trying to rewrite this one. So if I just take r power n into alpha n f dy, I can write it as f bar dy, right? So I'm just going to multiply and divide. Okay, I'm just going to multiply by n. Okay, multiply by n, and then r power n is there. So I'm just going to take one more thing. Okay, I'm just going to take so I'm just going to multiply this r and divide by r. So this will become r. So I'm just going to take this out. So this will become like r by n under 1 by alpha n r power n. Both are same. Okay, I just multiply and divide by r. Okay, into integral b of x comma r del u dx. Okay, so what is this one? This is nothing but this one. Okay, therefore this is going to become like r by n integral, so bar I am putting, okay, average integral del u dx. Okay, any doubts in this one? We didn't do anything, we just multiply and divided by, okay, just taken this one Green's formula and then multiply and divided by something. Okay, now some more things, some more preliminaries. Okay, because we are going to work on this, as I mentioned, we are going to work on a spherical geometry. The spherical means we are going to work, so we need to see like what is the r, etc. You got to see, so that means. Okay, so in this one, any doubts? Any doubts in this one? Okay. Okay, keep in mind this one. Now we'll go for the next one. So the next one is like r. I got to find it, right? R is nothing but I'm just going to write it as square root of summation xi square. Okay, if x is a variable in r power n, r is nothing but summation xi square, which is nothing but, this is something, what do you call it as? This is called as x2 now, 2 now, are Euclidean distance. Okay, I just mentioned as Euclidean distance. Okay, r equal to mod x. Then what I will do is that in my problem ut minus vxx on r power n is there, right? So that I will write it as u of x equal to p of r. Okay, u of x equal to p of r. Now what is dou r by dou x? Okay, dou r by dou xi first we find. What is dou r by dou xi? It is going to be 1 by square root of sigma xi square. Okay, 1 by 2 times will come. Okay, and one more xi square will be taking. So this will become like xi. Okay, so 2xi will come here, 1 2 will come, so 2 gets cancelled, so you will get xi by r. Okay, that is dou r by dou xi. Now what is dou u by dou x I? Okay, what is dou u by dou xi? Dou u by dou x is nothing but I can write it as dou by dou b by, so this is d of r, so dou b by dou r into dou r by dou xi. Okay, because it is with respect to r, so that I can write it as xi by r, okay, into dou b by dou r. Okay, xi by r into dou b by dou r. Now same way from this one, if you just find what is dou square r by dou xi square, okay, what you will get is that you need to differentiate. You should be very careful because you will get different things. Okay, so you should be very careful. Dou by dou xi of dou r by dou xi. Okay, so dou r by dou xi is xi by r is then. Okay, so you got to be very careful. So there is a small mistake here. It should be dou xi. Okay, dou by dou xi of xi by r. Okay, so you differentiate this one. So this is nothing but dou by dou xi of xi by r. Okay, so that is going to become like 1 by r. Okay, minus we got to differentiate this one once again. So that is going to become like xi into dou r by dou xi. Okay, there is u by v rule, and then r square is going to come. Okay, so this is going to become like sorry, this is wrong. This is r, not 1 by r. Okay, so that is going to be r minus. So I can write it as 1 by r here. Okay, 1 by r minus xi by r into dou r by dou xi. Dou r by dou xi is nothing but xi by r. Okay, therefore it is going to become like xi square by r square. Now you do the same work for uxi and uxi, uxxi. Okay, uxi. Okay, that is nothing but dou square by dou xi square. So in that case, what you will see is that you have to do the same kind of work. Okay, dou square by dou xi square, which is nothing but dou by dou xi of dou v by dou r into dou r by dou xi equal to dou by dou xi of dou v by dou r. Okay, then into so two terms. So once you simplify this one, what you will get is that you will get something like, you remember, you just work out this one because this is very important. This is the one which you are going to use it for the rest of the lectures. Anytime you use this one. Okay. Okay, so just erase this one. So what we have is that uxi okay is going to be uxi is going to become like v double dash. Okay, I'm just writing last step only. Okay, so the same thing, whatever we did over here, the same thing you got to do. So what you get is that v dash of r into xi square by r square. Okay, plus 1 by r, I think 1 minus 1 by r, 1 by r minus xi square by r cube. Correct? Yeah, xi square by r cube into v dash of r is going to come. Okay, so this is very, very important because we will be using the same set of things for the Laplace equation solving. Okay, this is very important because we are going to use this for the Laplace equation as well as for this one. So what is, so in this case, what is the Laplace equation? So let's come to that. So utt minus del u equal to 0. This is the live equation in the n-dimensional case, right? And if you take del u equal to 0, this is the Laplace equation in the n-dimensional case. So del u is nothing but summation u xi. Okay. So if I just sum it up this one, what I will get is that I will get v double dash of r. So summation xi square. Summation xi square is nothing but r square. So r square will get cancelled. Okay. Plus what I will get 1 by r. Okay. So 1 by r, I am just taking n times summation. So that will become like n by r. Okay. So del u is going to become like n by r. Okay. Minus this is summation xi square. Summation xi square is r square. So r square will be cancelled. So you get again 1 by r. So I'm just going to write as n minus 1 by r into v dash of r. Okay. Just work out this one. This is the one which you are going to use again and again. Now this is the one which you are going to use. Okay, v dash of r n minus 1 by r into v of r. So this is the one which we are going to use it for the rest of the things. Okay, del u I have done. Okay, so now so du also we have du I have given and del u also we have. Okay, so with this one we are going to do something for this problem. Okay, I have mentioned utt minus del u equal to 0 in r power n cross 0,3t and u is equal to f on r power n cross t 0, ut is equal to 0, g and r. Okay, so what we are trying to do is that in this case we are trying to find the average of u over the sphere radius. First we will try to find what is the average of the sphere over radius r. Okay, then we will obtain an equation. That's what I was mentioning. We will obtain an equation called utt minus urr equal to 0. Okay, that will be transformed to r plus cross 0,3. Okay, 0,3. So I will just transform it over here, and then u is equal to some f, ut is equal to some g. Okay, and r plus 0. Okay, so that this is called, this I will call it as some kind of Darboux Euler-Poisson-Darboux equation. And then once I transform over here, then I know how to solve it in my one-dimensional case. Then I will just use that. Okay, I will just convert that equation. So for Rn I will convert that wave equation, okay, to one-dimensional wave equation. So I will apply the D'Alembert formula, and then I'll just bring back to the original setup. That's the idea. Okay. Okay. So how are we going to define that? Okay. How are we going to define that? Let's see. So, but now what we are going to do is that I am just going to define something for the spherical mean. Let's take x belongs to r power n. Okay, and t greater than 0 or r greater than 0. I am going to denote something like capital U. Okay, I'm just going to define that capital U r comma t, which is average of b of x comma r. Okay, dou b of x comma r, dou b of x comma r, u. Okay, u y comma t into ds. Okay, this is called this I just defined. Okay, this is the average of u of x comma t over b of x comma r. So almost similar thing. Okay, so I'm just instead of just defining this one, I'm just putting some symbol over here. U. Okay, capital U. That is the average of. Same way, what you can define? You can define f. Okay, if I just define f, wherever I have u, I just replace with f. Okay, wherever I have g, I replace with g. Okay, this is the definition. Now, so now what we are trying to do is that, so I'll just erase the rest. So remember all these things, these are all just going to erase. Okay. Now what we are trying to do is that we are just trying to find what is this u. Okay, u of x comma r comma t is nothing but average of u of x comma u of y comma t into d of sy. Okay, over dou b of x comma r. I am going to put a transformation. Okay, my transformation is equal to y equal to x plus t z. Okay, this is the transformation I am going to put it over here, and then I'm just trying to bring that to the simple equation. So what it will become? So this is going to become like u of x plus t z into t dsy. Okay, so dou b of x comma r. Okay. Now we are differentiating this one. Okay, I got to find this one. So I have written some equation, right? utt minus urr equal to 0. So this I am trying to find. Okay, so for this I need ur and urr. So I'm just trying to find what is ur. Ur is going to be, I'm just differentiating with respect to r. Therefore, this is going to become like du. Okay, d will be brought inside because I'm just going to assume that this is going to be something like I'm just going to work on the. I'm just assuming these continuously differentiable, etc. Okay, so I can use the theorems that I can just bring this over here. Okay, du of x plus t z, okay, into comma t into, so y equal to x plus t z. Therefore, I got to find what is my dsy. So dsy, if I find what is it going to become in terms of z, I got to differentiate this with respect to t. Okay, differentiate with respect to t. Sorry, made a mistake.
Over the ball, average over the ball,
sorry.
0.
No, here it is x plus r z. The next one I will use t z. X plus r z. Okay, not t z. This is going to be x plus r z. Okay, so I just differentiate with respect to r. Therefore, what is dy by dr? Dy by dr is going to be dz, right? So y equal to x plus r z. Therefore, dy is going to be r into dz. Okay, therefore this is going to become like z into, okay, z into dsy is going to come. Okay, z into dsy is going to come. Okay, so what is z? How it comes? Why only this one? Okay, this I just maybe I just elaborate a little bit. X comma r here. Okay, so this is going to r is going to come. So if I just put this r inside, okay, then what I can write it as, I can just rewrite this as dou b of 0, 1. I can write it because what is the relation between dou b of 0, 1 and dou b of this one? I got to multiply by something with r power n, right? R you got to multiply here in this case. Okay, so therefore what it is going to become, plus I have already sy. S is already taking care of my volume. Okay, this is going to be taking care of the surface. The difference between surface and volume is nothing but you got to multiply by r. Okay, therefore it is going to become like du of x plus r z comma t into z d of s comma y. Okay, so I'm just putting sy. That's the reason it is becoming like r is absorbing over here. Okay, in this case. If it is, if I'm just putting some volume, then you got to multiply something else. Okay. Okay. Now what is Z? Z is nothing but, so this I can write as dou B of 0, 1. Okay. Du x plus t r z, t into y minus x by r into dr plus comma 1. So this is nothing but this y minus x comma r. Okay. This is nothing but, if I just take this, if I just take something like this, okay, then what is y minus x by r? Okay, y minus x by r, this is going to denote me. Okay, in the case of spherical mean, what it is going to denote is that it is going to denote be the u. Okay, I am just taking y minus x, okay, and then dividing by r. So that is going to give me the, because you can see that, okay, dy by dr is, dy by dz is going to be r, so that is going to give me the new value over. Okay, so this is going to become like nu. Okay, if it is du dot nu, that is nothing but this I can write it as dou b of 0, 1 dou nu by dou u by dou nu into ds. That's the definition of normal derivative, right? Dou u by dou nu is nothing but, this is nothing but nu dot du. Okay, so that's what we call it. Now what is dou b of 0, 1 dou u by dou nu d of x, y? That I can write it as, okay, that we have already seen, okay, earlier, that we have seen that if it is del u by del x, I will show you that probably. Okay, this one we have shown, right? B of x, r, del u by del x is nothing but r by n, okay, r by n, dou b of x, r, dou u by dou u ds, okay, dx. So same thing I'm going to write here. Okay, so therefore this is going to become like, so if I just transform it again to this integral, what I will get is that I will just get that. Okay, so if I just write this as z, so here I'm just retransforming this one, so this is going to become like, instead of x plus r z, this is going to become like yt. Okay, because I'm just resubstituting that same thing. This is going to become like dou b of x, r. Okay, and here also this is going to be like dou b of x, r. Okay, if you have any doubts, again, just ask. Okay, this is done, dou b of x, r. So this is going to become like dou b of x, r into, okay, so I have this one, dou b of dou u by dou nu is y is going to become like, let me see, but whether I got it correctly. Okay, this is not here, this is here. Okay, r by n del u dx equal to dou u by dou. Okay, so therefore what you are going to get, this is going to become like r by n del u dx is going to come. Okay, so this is nothing but your ur. You found only ur now. So ur is going to become like, sorry. Okay, so ur is going to become like, ur is going to be r by n dou b of x, r del u dx. Okay, del u dy or del u dx, you call it as. Okay, now this I left it as an exercise. Okay, the exercise is that ur of x, r, t. Okay, this we got written. Ur of x, r, t is nothing but r by n integral dou b of dou b of x, r, okay, del u dy. This we got done. Okay, now what we are trying to do, we are trying to put limit r tends to 0. Okay, if limit r tends to 0, this is going to become 0 because r is 10. Okay, r tends to 0, therefore. Sorry?
Over the ball. Average integral over the ball, not boundary.
Sorry, maybe some mistake. Oh yeah, this is over the ball. Yeah, correct. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to become like ur is equal to r tends to 0, so this is going to become like 0. Okay, this is going to become like 0. Okay, so now I just leave this as an exercise. Same way what I did over here. Okay, I just substitute y equal to x plus r z, and then I did that, right? Now if you go for u or r, what you get is that t square u x plus r z equal to, same kind of things you got to do, and then I just leave it as necessary. Whatever I did over here, same kind of things you got to do over there. Okay, u of x plus r is set into t. So same kind of setup you got to do. Then you can prove this one. Okay, so this I leave it as necessary. U r x comma r comma t. This is going to become. So now if you put limit r tends to 0 u r, then once again this is going to become like you are going to get only 1 by n del u x t is going to. Okay, the remaining is going to become very easy. I just leave it as necessary for you. Okay, now what we are trying to do is that, so we are trying to prove that this is going to solve this problem utt minus urr equal to 0. Okay, utt minus urr. So what I am trying to do, this is called Darboux equation. So the Darboux equation is nothing but utt minus urr minus n minus 1 by r into ur equal to 0. This is Darboux equation. Okay, this is called Darboux equation with the boundary conditions, etc. Okay, u equal to f on r plus 0, t equal to 0, and ut is equal to g on r plus. So here these two terms, okay, these two terms is going to contribute me for my uxx, this uxx. Okay, so that is going to be contributing over there. Okay, so now what we need to do is that we need to prove this one. Okay, we need to prove this one. This whatever u we define, this u is going to satisfy this equation. That's what we are going to define. We are going to derive. Okay, then short notice. Okay. So we got that exercise I have done. So from that exercise you can get this one. Okay. Now also this one we have done. Okay, this one we got done. Now what is this one? Okay. So what is this one? This is del u, right? What is del u? So see, I am assuming c equal to 1 in my entire lecture. Okay. C is equal to 1. So uxxx or del u, utt minus del u equal to 0. So utt minus del u equal to 0 means what is that? Del u is equal to, I can write it as, this I can write it as b of x comma r. Okay, this I can write as utt into dy. Correct? Okay, so this one is the extra terms are there. So r by m utt dy. Okay, that is nothing but my ur is this one. Fine. Now what do we need to do? We got to find again something different. So ur is this one. Okay, r by m into utt dy. But what is average of that one? Average is nothing but, so this formula is nothing but, if I just take this one, I got to multiply this by alpha of n into r power n. Okay, that is nothing but I am just expanding this integral utt dy. Okay, therefore r will get cancelled and we will get 1 by r power n minus 1. Okay, 1 by r power n minus 1 over there. Now what is this one? N alpha n r power n minus 1. What is that one? So I am just going to rewrite this one again. Okay, I am just going to rewrite this one. This is over b of x comma r. So I am just writing it as r power n minus 1 into ur. Okay, r power n minus 1 into ur equal to 1 by n into alpha n. Okay, integral b of x comma r utt dy. Fine. Okay, r power n minus 1. This is r power n minus 1. Now again differentiate this with respect to r. If you differentiate with respect to r, what you will get is that, okay, so this is going to become like over r. Okay, on the right hand side there is no r term there. Okay, n alpha 1 b of x dou b of x comma r, there is no other terms are there. Okay, r power n minus 1 into dou b of x comma r. Okay, so in this case, right hand side what it will become is that if you differentiate that, okay, we'll see that what will happen. Okay, if you differentiate this one with respect to this is with respect to r, right? So dy is there. What you will get is that will become like a 1 dimension less. Okay, if you just differentiate 1 dimension less, will become. So in that case, if you differentiate this one, this will become like dou b of x comma r. This will become like yes. Okay, this is the relation between the r differentiation and this one. So if you just differentiate, one surface will be decreased, because if you just put integral and differentiate this one, this integral will vanish. If I have double integral, if I differentiate this one with respect to this variable, one integral will vanish, only one integral is surface. Same way here. Okay, means only if you are reducing, then the volume will become like surface. That's the idea. Now if you differentiate this one, this is very simple. If you just differentiate, this is going to become like n minus 1 r n minus 2 into ur plus r power n minus 1 into urr is going to come. Okay. On the right hand side, what I am going to get, I am just multiplying and dividing. Okay. So probably I'll just erase this one. This one. Okay. So this is going to become like r power n minus 1 into r power n minus 2. Okay. Into ur plus r power n minus 1 urr equal to the right hand side is as it is. Okay. 1 by n into alpha n dou b of x comma r u t t ds is going to come. Now I'm going to multiply and divide by r power n minus 1. Okay, multiply and divide by r power n minus 1. Okay, then what is it going to become? This 1 by n into r power n minus 1. Okay, this is going to become like r power n minus 1 into, this is going to become like over dou b of x comma r. Okay, u t t ds. I'm just putting bar over there. Okay, UTT-ds is going to come. Okay, UTT-ds is going to come. But what is this one? So if I put u is this one, then this is nothing but UTT, right? R power n minus 1 into UTT. If I just substitute here, this is going to become like UTT, capital UTT. So you can just divide by r power n minus 1 through. What you will get is that UTT is equal to, this is going to become like n minus 1 by r ur plus ur. Correct? Okay. So that's what we want, right? Therefore we prove. Okay, this is called Euler-Terburg's equation. And now we have derived this one thing, right? That d squared by. So this one again I leave it as an exercise. Okay. So from this point only we will derive the Kirchhoff formula and Poisson's formula. Okay. So just I just give two exercise. Okay. Just do this one also. You can just complete this one. Okay. This is using induction. You can do it. For n equal to 1, k equal to 1, it is easy. For k equal to 2, 3, etc. You have to do it. Okay. I just leave it as an exercise. Maybe it will be asked for some exam in midterm exam.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So far what we did was we just try to bring that problem from n-dimensional to one-dimensional. That is called Euler-Terburg's equation. So this is the same idea we'll be using for rest of the things. When n equal to 3, n equal to 2, etc. We'll prove it. Any doubts? Do you understand today's lecture? Something at least?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you don't understand anything, just ask me. Actually, this is entirely from